So Treyarch actually went ahead and broke the Daemon 3XB. And I actually did a breakdown of all the SMGs that got buffed in the 1.17 update. And I actually went ahead and explained why the Switchblade and the Daemon 3XB are probably the two best SMGs in the entire game. But after taking a little bit of a deeper dive into the numbers, I realized how broken the Daemon 3XB actually is. And it's to the point where I'm confident enough to say that it will 100% receive a nerf. So I'll actually go ahead and take you through the weapon breakdown. Then I'll also give you the best class setup for the weapon and finish off with a little bit of a gameplay breakdown explaining how to use the weapon so you can maximize those kills and minimize those deaths. So if you enjoy the video or find any of the tips in it useful, please remember to hit that like button. And if you're one of the 78% that haven't yet subscribed but keep coming back for more, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with notifications on. And you can double check that. If your icon is red, that means you are not subscribed. Go ahead and hit it, turn it to gray. And one of the first things I'll go ahead and take a look at that a lot of people seem to debate is which is more important, to have high caliber or to have rapid fire. And the funny thing is that how misinformed I think we are as a community, because I think the vast majority of us would pick high caliber over rapid fire because there's an assumption that high caliber is actually better than rapid fire. But when you actually look at the numbers, you'd realize how much closer things are than you realize. So when you pull the trigger for the Daemon, you're gonna have a 3-round burst that comes out at 1200 RPM. In addition to that, between each of the bursts, there is a 50 millisecond delay. And the neat thing is those numbers line up pretty well to do easy math. And what I mean by that is if you take that 1200 milliseconds and you work backwards, you'll find out that it's 50 milliseconds per shot. So don't worry, you guys don't got to work all that part out. I'm going to break this down for you. If you do run rapid fire, it's going to decrease that time between bursts from 50 milliseconds down to 0. And with the recent buff to the Daemon, you're going to see that the shots needed to kill is either going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 without that high caliber, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 with high caliber. And obviously, since it's a 3-round burst weapon, you can see right there, simply enough, it's always going to be 2 or 3 bursts to kill. So one interesting thing that happens is that obviously if you're going to run high caliber, it's going to take 1 less bullet to kill, which saves you 50 milliseconds. But because of the delay between bursts, it gets offset and you really lose those 50 milliseconds if it takes 2 bursts to kill. Then you lose 100 milliseconds when it is actually 3 bursts to kill. Whereas if you run rapid fire, you're going to save that 50 millisecond for each additional burst. And since I know there's a lot of people that are just a little bit more visual, here is a graph plotting out those time to kills for those various different setups. You can see that top blue line is the base Daemon without any attachments. Then you can see that yellow line and the red line overlap all the way up to 25 meters. So because of those different properties I already talked about, they have the exact same time to kill whether or not you run high caliber or rapid fire from 0 up to 25 meters. Then once you get beyond 25 meters, you can see that rapid fire actually outperforms high caliber. And then when you combine both of those, you get that green line all the way at the bottom. And if you guys look really closely, look at that time to kill for the bottom of the green line. 150 milliseconds. And that's where things start to get a little bit out of hand. Remember that they actually added a 5-shot kill range and buffed all the various ranges for this weapon. And by creating that 5-shot kill range, they created actually a 4-shot kill range with high caliber. As long as you land at least 1 bullet, you are going to get that 4-shot kill in core game mode. So I have a nice little clean example for you. Take a target from full health. You can see they are only left with 6 health because 3-round burst actually did 144 damage. And if you're running rapid fire, you're going to have a no delay between that first shot and the next shot. The first bullet that comes out of the chamber will instantly kill that target. And in case you guys aren't convinced at how broken a 150 millisecond time to kill is, so let's go ahead and look at a few other weapons in terms of time to kill, and we're going to be looking at weapons that do not kill in 1 shot. So once we stack this list up side by side, you can see where the Daemon 3XB sits at 150 milliseconds, Dual Sogs at 165, High Cal Rampart at 232, the Auger DMR at 183, and the Spitfire with the Wildfire Operator mod at 200 milliseconds. So just think about that for a second. This weapon will actually kill faster than all of those weapons on that list. And personally, in a game with the time to kill as high as it is, there is no need for weapons to kill this fast. I know I've been killed with the Dual Sogs at that point blank range and it feels like you get insta melted. The same with the Spitfire and the Wildfire Operator mod. So I can definitely tell you that once people get their hands on the Daemon, with this best class setup, it won't be long before people are starting to realize how overpowered this is and complaining to the developers to nerf it. So take advantage of it while you can. It is definitely overpowered in its current state. So with that being said, here's the best class setup for the Daemon 3XB. And in case you haven't figured it out yet, we're running high caliber 1, high caliber 2 with rapid fire, and I'm running the hybrid mags as well as an elo sight. And you can see I'm only running with one perk, which is gung ho, but you could easily drop the optic or maybe even the hybrid mags if you want those extra perks like scavenger, dead silence, or even flak jacket. And with that, we'll go ahead and jump into a gameplay breakdown, which is designed to actually help players improve. And I talk about a lot of different things within the video. I'll talk about positioning, map awareness, how to predict spawns, and all those types of things, in addition on how to use this weapon effectively based on the specific class setup. So if you're new to the channel and not familiar with that overhead view of the map, you can see the little bit of areas that are highlighted in red, and those are the general spawns on each side of the map. You can see on the west side of the map or the left side of the map, there is a certain area for people to spawn in, and the same could be said for the right side of the map, which is the east side of the map. Also, as we do this gameplay breakdown, I'm not going to die for the rest of the match. I didn't really know where the guy was. I thought he'd chase around, so I decided to push around, and it looks like he decided to go up the stairway. End up catching him from behind, insta melt him like we've already talked about. That 150 millisecond time to kill is just insane. Obviously, if you're going to do 2 bursts and only takes 4 shots to kill, you're wasting 2 bullets, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because you're still getting that kill. And getting a little bit back to that overhead view of the map, if you push beyond these green lines or you push a little bit too close, that's generally when you're going to flip the spawns, especially if all of your team has passed the yellow line. And I think if you made it to my channel, you're probably smarter than my average teammate, because it seems like people have no clue what's going on in terms of map control, positioning, and they don't understand how their movements influence where the enemies will actually spawn. So right here, I have a pretty good idea that all the enemies are either going to be at the middle of the map where this guy tried to engage me, or a majority of them are on this east side of the map. I can see the guy popping up on the mini map. I try to take this engagement pretty quickly, and after I take the guy out, you can see that the spawns have flipped and now everyone is on the west side of the map. I go ahead and peek this right side where I saw the guy, and a lot of times those things happen really quickly. You got to pay attention because they will happen really quickly. And I go ahead and push back through the spawn. I want to make sure that I'm in a safe spot, calling in my streaks, and a lot of times I need these streaks to offset how negative a lot of times my teammates will actually go. You can see right here, a lot of my teammates is centered around the north side of the map, and for this map, that's actually a really bad thing because you end up with split spawns where enemies will actually spawn in the west spawns as well as the east spawns, making it very hard to manage where people are on the map and predict where people are on the map, especially if you don't have a UAV. If I'm the only one calling a UAV, no one has a UAV in the air, makes it very difficult. You kind of got to just see where your teammates are, position around smartly, take the engagements you feel comfortable you could win, and assume people know exactly where you're at. So in my gut, based off where my teammates are, the area I need to look at is this east area by the stairs. The guy walks up, a nice easy kill, and then I go ahead and come around expecting more people to come through spawn. I'm pre-aiming it, the guy comes out, I take him out pretty quickly, and I start getting shot, and then I decide to take this engagement, jump back through, and insta melt that guy with 2 bursts. So a lot of times when people come to my channel and maybe they're seeing me play for the first time, they might say I'm playing a little bit slow, but a lot of times I'm trying to demonstrate a specific process. There's other times where I'm just playing casually, not recording, whatever the case is, and I'll kind of let some of those different things fly out the window because maybe I'm going for feeds. But when I'm trying to demonstrate gameplay, and I do my best to try and set a good example, and that involves sometimes playing a little bit slower, a little bit safer, but with that comes a lot more learning opportunities, I think, for the average player watching the video. You can see that a lot of these engagements, or at least the vast majority of them, I'm winning them before they even start because I'm already pre-aiming, predicting where people are based off the UAV in the sky or where the enemies are on the map. Right here, I kind of just waste too many bullets. I should have fired my weapon a little bit sooner so I could have cleaned that guy up, but I know the strike team's up there. They ended up taking that guy out, so pretty easy kills there. One other thing I didn't talk too much about when it comes to this weapon is the recoil, and overall the recoil on this weapon is very minimal. You could go ahead and run grip in case you want to have another attachment, but I think you're kind of stacked once you start getting high caliber 1, high caliber 2, rapid fire, and if you want that extra magazine capacity, you're definitely going to want to go with hybrid mag. So it still looks like these east spawns are the enemy spawns, so as I rotate, I'm pushing towards my teammates. I see the smoke there. I completely try to avoid that, coming around, trying to get any audio cues, wait for that UAV to pass, and then I'm taking that guy out. He's running through. That guy's had kind of bad luck. I keep catching him at the flank. He just runs right by me. Luckily, I was able to catch this player on the mini map and able to take him out pretty easily. You can see the time to kill is super fast with this weapon. And as I come around the corner, I see the guy sniping. So I decided to take a little bit of a different route. I see he's distracted with my teammate. I come at an angle and then I end up cleaning up him pretty easily. And looking at that mini map, it looks like these are our spawns again. So now everyone is rotated to the other side. I see some guy coming around these stairs I go ahead and pre-aim him, take him out while he's mid-air. Doesn't really have much of a chance in that scenario. And I kind of got lucky here because this guy was actually facing the other way. I don't know if he was trying to melee or whatever the case is, but since he was wearing the same brown as that wall, it really blended in. Another point I'd like to make is how crucial score streaks are. Pretty much if I don't have score streaks going off, I'm not going to have map control. I'm not going to be winning many matches because my teammates just tend to die too quickly. So if you find yourself losing a ton of matches, maybe you got to play a little bit slower. Maybe you got to play a little bit smarter. Maybe you even have to camp just a little bit to get that first set of streaks. But I can guarantee once those streaks start rolling in, you're going to be in a much better position to actually go on longer streaks. You can see right here, I end up taking this guy out. Then my streaks pretty much do the rest for me. I call in my final attack boost, and that kind of ends up being the match. So let me know in the comment section, do you think this weapon is overpowered and will more than likely get a nerf? So we ended up going 47-4. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the gameplay. If you did, please remember to hit that like button. If you're brand new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Turn that button from red to gray with notifications on. Appreciate all the support. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.